G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, on Thursday, the 7th of March 2024, I published an article titled Prime Minister Anthony Albanese joins forces with Lachlan Murdoch to steal from the poor to give to the filthy rich Murdochs. And I'll read you out the first few paragraphs. Anthony Albanese is ripping off Australian taxpayers by continuing the relationship Scott Morrison and the Liberals had with Lachlan Murdoch, Rupert Murdoch, to shake down Google and Facebook while turning a blind eye to the fact that Google and Facebook pay very little tax in Australia. It's a scam that has hit a major hurdle as Facebook issued a statement on the 29th of February 2024, in effect saying they will no longer be stood over by the Australian government, who are doing it on behalf of the Murdochs and the old media companies, and will stop paying Australian media companies this year. The scam works like this. Google, Facebook and other major foreign companies pay very little tax in Australia because of weak tax laws. This means the Australian public miss out on the benefits of the government having billions of dollars more to spend on the Australian public. Instead of making Google and Facebook pay their fair share of tax, the previous Scott Morrison government forced Google and Facebook to pay Australian media companies for using their content. The reality is Google and Facebook do not use the old media's content and send traffic to the old media companies by having their articles and videos show up in searches and shared links on Facebook, etc. So instead of Google and Facebook being forced to pay their fair share of tax, which would benefit all Australians, the government is forcing Google and Facebook to pay Australia's old media companies, which make the Murdochs richer, who then use the money to buy houses, boats and planes worth billions of dollars. Why is the Australian government helping Australian media companies run a financial shakedown of Google and Facebook? News Corp is not a media company. It is a propaganda company impersonating a media company that is used to help the rich get richer. It is only in April 2023 that I reported Rupert Murdoch and his companies Fox Corp and News Corp are on the ropes after agreeing to pay Dominion Voting Systems $1.17 billion Australian or $787 billion US for defamation after Fox promoted lies that Dominion helped rig the 2020 US presidential election. Why should Australian taxpayers, in effect, be subsidising Australia's old media companies to publish propaganda that undermines Australian democracy? How many Labor Party voters support Prime Minister Anthony Albanese helping the Murdochs get richer? No one knows the totals of the different contracts with the media companies, but estimates range from around $200 to $250 million that Google and Facebook are paying Australian media companies per year. That's in total, and it's estimated Facebook pay about a third of that. So that's probably about, 100 million or so. Now, Facebook put out a statement saying that they're going to stop paying Australian media companies. That will happen this year when the contracts run out. Exact date is unknown because they obviously got different contracts with the different media companies. But they did the same thing in Canada in August last year. Canada was trying to force Facebook to pay the media companies. Don't know if they ever did, but they stopped it in August last year anyhow. And they blocked all the media companies from promoting their articles and their videos on Facebook. At this point, nothing's been resolved. Facebook are still refusing to pay the media companies in Canada and are still blocking the media companies from promoting their articles and videos on Facebook. And that's potentially what will happen in Australia. And I don't think that's such a bad thing anyhow, because as we know, as I said in the article, Rupert Murdoch runs a propaganda company. He's just promoting lies on a regular basis. Now, if the federal government want to force social media companies to subsidise journalism, why don't they subsidise new media, independent journalists like me? Instead of going to Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan Murdoch's pockets, so they can buy houses worth 100 million, 200 million, planes worth 100 million, 200 million, big boats worth 100 million. Well, they're not boats, they're yachts worth 100 million and 200 million. Google Rupert Murdoch's houses and Google Lachlan Murdoch's houses and planes and boats, and you'll see what I mean. And I think Anthony Albanese is playing with fire. I don't think a lot of the Labor Party voters would be real happy with him helping Lachlan Murdoch and Rupert Murdoch getting richer. Have a look at that photo I used in the article of Lachlan Murdoch, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, and New South Wales Premier Chris Minns. You've got Lachlan Murdoch standing in the middle, and you've got Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Chris Minns looking like they're sort of grovelling, like they've got some sort of man crush on Lachlan Murdoch. Anyhow, make sure you visit my website, Kangaroo Court of Australia, and read that article. I'll put a link to the article below this video on YouTube. It's got a lot more information, a lot of links, so you can read all that information about Canada, what's happening there, because that's probably what's going to end up happening here, where Facebook will just block the old media. They did that last year for a few days, or not last year, a few years ago. They blocked Australian media sites for a few days. And Kangaroo Court of Australia's independent media. I publish a website and a YouTube channel, and I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. So please support my Patreon account. I currently have 401 supporters donating $2,387 a month. I need to almost double it to become financially viable. You can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. It all helps out. And the link for the Patreon account will be below this video on YouTube and also on my website. And please share this video on social media. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.